Hey friends, this is Dolynny TV. Glad to have you aboard as we get set up to discuss a quick couple of hits on the Edmonton Oilers today. I don't even have graphics scheduled for this one. Simply put, just got a chance this afternoon to listen to Oilers Now with Bob Stauffer, Craig MacTavish, and Frank Seravelli. Discuss a couple of things that kind of coming up in news for the Edmonton Oilers. Really not much happening out there realistically on this Monday as we get geared up for rookie camp later in the week. Obviously that happening in Penticton, BC here at, I think it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, 15th through 18th. Look at that. Quick check of the calendar. We're good to go. But before we get into it too much, friends, if you are new to the channel, I want you to consider hitting that subscribe button. Would love to have you aboard for the entire season. And of course, if you aren't able to subscribe to Oilers Plus by the weekend, I'll have your play-by-play of the Young Stars Classic here on Dolynny TV throughout the weekend, so stay tuned. Probably won't have every single period of action, but we'll get to it. So basically today on Bob Stauffer's show, Oilers Now, just discussing things with Craig MacTavish. I did not catch the full bit of it, but he did discuss a little bit about Brandon Sutter and what he could potentially bring to the table. MacT went on to say that he really likes what Brandon Sutter brings, obviously loves what every Sutter has ever brought to the NHL, and figures he would be the perfect fit for the Edmonton Oilers should they go to choose a fourth-line center to start the season. So obviously this is something we've heard quite a bit of, and nothing in this video is groundbreaking. It's just reinforcing what we continue to hear from everybody within the Oilers media community. But as it breaks down for the Oilers, right, Brandon Sutter is a guy who's got a long uphill battle. He's got to come in and take a spot from a guy like Lane Peterson, take a spot from Sam Gagner, Drake Caggiula, Raphael Lavoie, all that, how that mixes out. So it's going to be a crowded competition for a guy to come in there and do that job. But again, Brandon Sutter coming up, we don't know what we're getting. Who knows? And what MacT and Bob Stauffer pretty much discussed is Sam Gagner and Brandon Sutter, both guys on PTOs, are going to get probably around that 5-game mark to really be able to make a decision on them. So you think the preseason happens kind of bang bang at times this year, and it'll be really interesting to see if they get all 5 right off the hop. Then whoever's won the job gets the next 2 and a night off, or however it works out. So stay tuned. It's going to be a really interesting competition at camp in terms of that fourth line, whatever you want to say, role that it is going to be for the Edmonton Oilers this season. But Brandon Sutter, both Stauffer and MacT kind of agreeing that he kind of fits that profile of what we're looking for. Defensive-minded, defensively reliable in his career. Of course, what he has to give us at this point, who knows? But we'll find out as we go along here throughout the preseason. And of course that rolls into, again, you saw in the video or in the thumbnail of this video, you saw that, right? Brett Murray's there. You saw Raphael Lavoie's there. You saw Markus Niemelainen's there. Of course, we're talking about guys who, again, are going to be on the waiver wire, potentially coming through the preseason. And when this comes through for training camp, basically what we're talking here is this the conversation between Frank Seravelli and Bob Stauffer. Stauffer again reaffirming his support for how much he likes Brett Murray and is interested in a potential spot in Edmonton for him. But again, too, Frank Seravelli kind of looking at it is it's way too early for us to be making these calls. And again, I harp back to last year, Redeems Horna, and looking at what he kind of was all about throughout the preseason. I think he was 6'6", like almost 240. Big, huge guy, could beat you up, could hit. Was a guy that was very, very appetizing to an Edmonton Oilers fan base that wants and loves to have those kind of guys in the lineup. But now you look at Brett Murray this year, you look at Raphael Lavoie, similar builds of players. You look at Markus Niemelainen as well, all 3 players eligible for waivers. But we're talking about something that doesn't have to happen until at least day 5 or 6 or 7 of training camp. So there's plenty of time yet. And by the time you get there, who knows what's actually shaping up. And that was kind of what Frank Seravelli was beating down on the radio waves today. It was just saying, hey, you know what, just chill out for a little bit. We'll discuss it in a little bit of time. He hasn't even had a chance, has Seravelli, to actually do the full deep dive and kind of come up with his list of who's going to be the best, who's going to be the most available, who's going to be out there. I know I did that video yesterday on Brett Murray talking about maybe a side deal to avoid waivers for both Niemelainen and Murray when it comes to the Oilers and Sabres. But again, Seravelli pouring cold water on everything, saying, slow down, we'll talk about it soon, but not quite yet. So that's all I got for you, friends. I'm Tyson, this is Dolynny TV. Thank you so much for being aboard this afternoon. Really appreciate you being here. I'm Tyson, Dolynny TV. Goodbye.